Welcome back to our podcast, turning your customers into loyal fans. Today, we're going to be talking about a challenge that you may or may not be facing right now, the big staffing problem. So, over the weekend, I've actually spoken to a couple of business owners, and they all told me this: Ivan, nobody wants to work nowadays. Like, they don't want to work anymore. I was like, okay, kindly elaborate, even though I already kind of know where this is going, but I still kind of want to hear from them. So the reality is they are struggling to get people, not only from the recruiting standpoint, but also for people to stay, especially what I call low-level skilled workers like front desk, sales reps, to be able to stay in their positions. There are three main reasons that I think contributed to this phenomena right now. First one is the mindset, especially the younger generation. They just came out of graduation and with no experience whatsoever, but they have a sense of entitlement that they feel like they should be getting paid a certain amount, say $15 an hour. Here in Texas, 15 is actually pretty high for a front desk with no experience versus obviously in California, 15 is like a basic. So it's very different. But then I'm speaking on behalf of Texas and the general wage over here. So it really doesn't make sense for businesses, especially they're demanding a certain pay and they don't really have the experience to show for it. And obviously, business owners are going to be like, okay, I'm not paying you that amount just for you to stand there. The value that you're contributing is not up to that wage that you're asking for, right? But then they can justify it by saying that, hey, look, McDonald's actually will pay you 15 bucks. Or sure, fine. Then go work at McDonald's. But the irony of that statement is McDonald's actually installed a lot of self-order kiosks. If you really think about it, that's to cut down on having to deal with front desk or frontline workers. Exactly the reason why, because they don't need to deal with people who they train for a certain amount of time and then you have to worry about covering their shift. They don't show up, call out, and all that nonsense, right? Just having a self-order kiosk there that is going to be there 24/7, seldom break down, nice productivity. The customer can do whatever they want, customize however they want. It's a win-win for both the business and the customer. So, that's the first problem, which is the mindset, right? The second problem is the fact that the workforce right now is we have a lot of job opportunities out there, and they think if I'm not happy here, then I'll just quit and I'll find another one quickly, just like that. So that mindset is really not helping at all because they don't really value what they have right now. They're not putting in any effort. So they treat their job as if it's something that is disposable and they can just turn around and get another one, which is kind of true in that case, but it's not helping the entire scenario. The third one is the mindset of this generation, especially. I'm talking about like Gen Z or younger generation. My generation, which is also Gen X, they are actually a very different breed. If my manager was yelling at me back then, I was like, you really need to do this. Like, how could you not learn how to do this or whatever? I would take it as I'm trying to improve, even though it's not as pleasant, but I'll still go do it, right? But now they really can't take any constructive criticism. They'd be like, you're mentally abusing me or verbally abusing me. So enough with this. I'm leaving. All these three reasons add together is what most businesses are dealing with right now, especially when it comes to staffing. So a lot of businesses, unfortunately, they are still kind of stuck in their old paradigm, which is like, I need staff, right? Yeah, sure. You need someone to hold down the fort for you for sure. But then it doesn't mean that you can't go lean and have a lot of the stuff automated. So some of the spas that I've seen, they actually implemented a lot of automation in their client intakes. So if you're a spa and you need to have your clients fill out intake forms before arriving, whenever they book an appointment, they will get an email asking them to fill out the form and it will help save their time because certainly you don't want to cut into your massage time, service time, whenever you're late. Then you have to take more time to fill that out and so you can customize your experience, and then you get to send the email to them a couple hours before the appointment reminding them, hey, we really need you to fill out the form just so you can have a pleasant experience, have your full time and whatsoever. The whole thing is automated, save them time, and then when they come into the spa, they get a self check-in kiosk and there's just one person working at the front desk holding down the fort. It doesn't mean that you're not able to function or it's not ideal for the business, but really it depends on how you want to structure the business. The old of I need 2 to 3 people to hold down the fort is no longer applicable, especially in this day and age where everybody's entitled and nobody wants to work anymore, and you're just struggling to put together somebody because of desperation. You hire somebody in, and you just found out after a month that they show the true colors that they're not a good fit, and then you have to do it all again, back to square one. It's just not feasible. So automation is really the option left, and at least, or the very bare minimum, you know your clients are going to get served with intake forms and like the whole expectation of when they arrive. You can send them a video like, okay, so this is what happens. You can serve yourself a tea. Like the whole experience is already custom tailored to them, and they're not sitting around or standing around waiting for your staff or get annoyed because nobody's serving them and they don't know what's going on. So the time has come that automation is really going to be helping your business, not only by cutting down the bottom line, not only by serving you in terms of staffing, but also it helps tremendously when it comes to customer experience. Really, this is something that if you're not thinking about, it's something that it's certainly worth exploring, and you will see the difference. That is it for today. We'll talk to you next time.